Hello, everyone, and welcome to Silverline Silver Sunday. This Sunday, August the 16th. We are already halfway over with the month of August. I cannot believe it. I am your host, Amo, and I'm excited to be here tonight. And I am with, as always, MillertonGazette.substack.com, Mike W. Belcher, that man and the mask guy himself. Say hi, Mike.
Hey, everybody. How's Sunday going for everyone?
Going really well. We went to Texas Roadhouse. Yeah, or Longhorn Steakhouse. Man, I had a great juicy steak today. It was so good.
Longhorn makes some pretty good Brussels sprouts too.
So the wife had she had shrimp and salad. So you know how it is. I snuck a couple of bites of both. But she also snuck a bite of the steak. She does not like her steak as pink as me. So when I sneak her a piece, I just tell her, "Don't look at it, just eat it." And she usually enjoys it. See if I can't center my mic. Someone said something to me. It's like, Roland, you're never looking at the camera, and that's because I put my camera like right in front of my screen, and I can't have it cover up my screen because then I can't see the screen. But if I look at the camera, I can't see y'all.
Yeah.
So we are joined by Colors on Cat and Mouse Vipers and a whole lot of other cool stuff. Miss Roberta Conroy. Say hi, Roberta.
Hello, everyone.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good
Sunday.
In your space again?
Always. I like my space.
And we are joined. We have a guest with us tonight, but it's a familiar face to most of you. It's the slinger of inks himself, Mr. Jose Fuentes.
I'm just lost. I'm lost. It's all right.
You know what? I just now noticed your additional banner there on your
That's right.
How cool is that?
So I have two more. If this one never gets damaged, I got two more to replace it.
Did you pick one up like 2 weeks ago at Burger King, maybe?
I sure did.
Yeah.
Me and Tommy.
Yep. Yeah. For those who didn't follow that, we went to eat at Burger King after what show was it? Kissimmee. Infinity Con, yeah, Infinity Toy and Comic Con. So we went there and Jose snuck out with what? I would have grabbed one too. There was one on the shelf right behind me. I would have grabbed it too if you just said something.
That would just be larceny. I'm just letting you know.
No. They give them out, don't they?
I mean, we just went up there. Like, yeah, can I have a crown? He's like, sure. And grab it. And then Tommy orders his food, and they go, yeah, can I get a crown too? And the guy's like, okay.
Aren't you guys a little old for
crowns? Just the look on his face. He's just like, what's the matter with you?
We're young at heart.
That's right. Hey, you should tell them we make comic books. We are young at heart.
Right.
You kind of have to be, right?
Up.
That's right. Nope. Pops says, hey, yo, what's up, Pops? Always can count on Pops to drop us a hey, yo. Well, I don't, tonight's topic is the shop talk for August. So this is shop talk. Does anybody have any news before we get into the news?
Well, how was your con last week? You had a con last week. You guys were just talking about you had dinner. I mean, did you in Infinity Con, wasn't it?
I did pretty good.
Yeah. I will say this, and I think it would be fair to say. So here's a short story before. So Infinity 20 Comic Con had been going on for several years, right? It actually had grown and grown and grown, not like exponentially, but grown a little bit over time. Last year they had to cancel it because they had a death in the family. Mm-hmm. And so this year attendance was down some, and it was noticeably down, and everyone kind of acknowledged that, right? Even the guy who puts it on is Louis. What's Louis' last name? Jose, do you remember?
Louis. I just know him as Louis.
That's all I know too is Louis. But his whole family is involved. They're just the coolest people around. I think his wife. Maybe his mother-in-law, they're the ones who are at the door taking the tickets and the money to get people in. He's got 3 or 4 sons who
they always come around and check on us.
Check
up on us, make sure that we're cool.
They are just fantastic. One of the coolest shows around. I'll tell you, it may be because of some of the changes in ownership for Daytona Beach Comic Con. It's quite possible that Infinity Con might be the new home for Silverline. So I've talked to Luke some about it, and like I said, he's gung ho. So that's not a 100% definite yet, but it's looking pretty positive. So, but they're just great. They're just great people. But we had a great time. We had a nice little Silverline row. I didn't post any of those pictures, did I? I wonder if I have them. Did I send them to myself?
I mean, I sent the pictures I took to BJ because it's BJ.
This is true. I'm trying to think. I can't remember if I sent them to myself or not. But I took a picture from like where I was sitting, and I looked to my left, and there was Jose, and then to the right was Tommy and Haley. Excuse me, and I don't think I'm not gonna look for them right now because I don't know where they are. But yeah, we had a blast. Lots of people came by. We met a couple of new people. In fact, one guy I've already talked to, a creator by the name of Ray. I'm trying to schedule him. It's looking like we're going to get him on in maybe early October. So
Is that the dude with the little book?
Yeah. Pass that little QR code thing on it. Yep.
That was pretty smart. That's pretty snazzy.
I think so too. So yeah, it was a fun show. Lots of familiar faces, lots of new faces. But yeah, I had a blast, and Jose said he did great. So
I did. I got to, and I saw some returning friends, and with a little daughter that's like becoming her own internet everything because she's going on different different people that do card stuff on like their live videos and their card stuff. She's in it now, and so now people are recognizing her. It's pretty awesome.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Matt Likes Comics says, "Hey everybody, awesome crown, Jose."
Thank you. I come from royalty, and
That's right. Thanks for hanging out with us, Matt. We appreciate it. Matt, you got any news? We're just kind of looking for news. Roberta, anything new? What's happening with you?
I got a little project or two. So
Nice.
Nothing too much going on. Not yet, anyway.
Good. And one of those, of course, is doing some coloring, right?
Yeah.
For anything that we might know.
Mm-hmm. You might.
Hey, excellent. So another thing. Let me see if I can find it here. Where is it at? So we are. My internet's acting slow. Here we go. Look at that. So let me see if I can share here. We are launching.
Did you just move your head literally around your computer, your camera, to look at multiple screens?
I did. I have a screen over there, and then I have another one up there. So
he lives in the Matrix.
He really kind of does.
Yeah.
Now you got me all confused. What was I doing? Oh, I was sharing my screen. Okay. Window. Let's see. I'm looking for that right there. All right. So, yeah. All right. So we're getting ready to launch some trades here. You can see we've got 6 trades that we're going to. We need to get these out, right? We finished these miniseries. Now you can also go to SilverlineComicsCrowdfunder.com. We are going to do them on 2 different platforms, just so everyone knows. Complete transparency. We're doing them on Fund My Comic, and this is the Kickstarter page. So I know that there's some people don't like Kickstarter, some people don't like Fund My Comic. So it's the same thing, available in both places. But Kickstarter has a pre-launch page, right? So I'm going to copy that so that everyone can get it. And I'll put that in the chat here. So you guys go over and at least notify me. Hit that button, notify me on launch. Even if you're not going to back, even if you can't back, we understand. but hit that button. It helps. It helps with the. Oh, you can't see it actually. It helps with the algorithms. Look at that. We've got 50 folks following. So to the 50 who are following, thank you very much. Oh, I didn't go through so we're going to do a trade for Cat and Mouse. We're going to do, which is the first 4 issues that we've done. It does not include Vipers, for those of you who have asked me that. We haven't finished Vipers yet, but when we finish
I'm working
Vipers,
on it, people. I'm working on it.
I know.
when we finish Vipers, we will do one of these as well. It also includes Divinity, which hopefully we'll be able to show the cover here next week by the time we launch.
Hope so.
And and then Fire Rush. Fire Rush is 3 issues. Just so Fire Rush collects 3 issues, and Teen Beetle collects 3 issues. So we hope to be able to show the Divinity, Fire Rush, and Teen Beetle covers this coming week. And then Trumps, this collects issues 1 through 4, and then Twilight Grim also collects issues 1 through 4. So I know we know that some of you guys out there prefer to buy trades, and I get it. You can't see my shelf, but they look good on the shelf, right? Instead of bagging and boarding and putting in them comic boxes. Some of you like to do both. You like to buy them and bag and board them, and then you have the trades that you can read and share and loan out to your buddies to get them addicted.
Whoa.
Yes.
You don't loan.
A loan? I loaned a book to someone once, and she broke the spine. No thanks.
Oh no.
No.
Well,
Yeah, you loaned them back in the day when you didn't think they were worth anything.
Right.
Well, so my problem is I loan them and then I forget where I loaned them and they don't come back.
Wait, you don't have the library checkout system?
I need to.
Heaven.
No. I bought probably.
You do the Blockbuster logic. 2 forms of ID and proof of address.
So I try to keep up with some of them. I know they're not listening, so I can throw her under the bus a little bit. My daughter-in-law, I've loaned her Fables. She we were talking about, I don't remember what we're talking about, some of the fairy tales sometimes, and I told her about Fables, and she says that sounds interesting. I said, well, so I gave her the
Vertigo
first one.
Fables?
What's that?
Like Vertigo Fables?
Bill Willingham?
Yeah.
Yeah. I told her. I said it's a little rough around the edges. So she said, okay.
It's a good read.
It is a good read. I'm a Bill Willingham fan. So so I loaned her volumes 1, 2, and 3. I haven't seen those. I loaned her. I think I loaned her those before they got married, which is over a year ago now.
So interesting bit of information about that. They had a video game out.
Yeah.
Wolf Among Us.
Yeah.
I played that. I love that game so much. I didn't know it was based on the Fables.
Really?
I didn't know that when I first started playing until I started seeing some of the characters. And I'm like, they look familiar. Like, why do I know them?
Yeah. David H. Goodrez says, I'm looking forward to these. Thank you, David. We appreciate that.
Thank you, David.
Hopefully you'll be able to check some of them out. Maybe some that you missed. So Matt Likes Comics says, I am close to 1,000 subs. When I get there, it will be big YouTube giveaway party. Woo-woo.
Congrats, man.
That's good news. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
You know what? I should keep up better with how many we have. BJ was really good about keeping up with how many followers we had on the different, but I'm not very good. David Rios, David says, I love some Bill Willingham stuff. Yeah. I remain a big fan of the Elementals. I still think, in the 1980s, the Elementals was some of the cutting edge superheroes at the time, I think. My opinion, of course, but I really, really enjoyed what he did with the Elementals. It got a little wonky at the very end after Willingham was gone, but yeah.
Hey, 80s indies superheroes were where it's at.
Oh yeah.
They gave alternatives that were great and certainly stood the test of time.
I 100% agree. I 100% agree. And the thing about it is, you can find so much of that stuff in the dollar box today. And I always recommend.
That's Roland's favorite box.
It really is.
Favorite place to go at a convention.
Part of it is there's twofold, right? Number one, that's my budget,
Right.
I look up on the wall, right? These walls of comics they have, and I'm like 200, 300, 500. I'm like, yeah, I can't afford those. That's too much money for me.
See, I envision those, but there are covers that we've done. It's like dreaming, like,
I
a
hope
Christmas
so.
story.
Yeah. You know what? That's a great idea. David Scooter says, "Have you ever approached Willingham to do this show?" I have not, but I know one of his good buddies, Brad, who is associated with Silverline. Brad, I don't know. Brad was doing Brad Tomty. For those who don't know, Brad Tomty was doing. I want to say he started some streams with Willingham. I should reach out to Brad and see. I would love to get the Willingham on here to talk.
Yeah, Willingham has a Substack that's got some nice little stuff on it.
I'll have to follow that. Dave Rios says Elementals was fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. Elementals is one of the ones that caused me to get that app. Jose has seen the app. I had to get the app because I would go buy them, in the cheap boxes that I go to put them in I'm like, oh, I've already got 3 copies of that one. So.
Yeah, and the other thing about it is, I think Elementals is along with what I think what Willingham was trying to do with Fables. He put them in the public domain.
So that's good news, right? Let's talk about that. Here's the problem with that is that he doesn't own them, so he can't do it. Right.
Yeah, but I've seen people doing them. I mean, people there was a Kickstarter not 3 months ago that was an Elemental tribute, and they both put it. And the people that were on the Kickstarter info said that, whoever supposedly had, we all know the name, but supposedly he doesn't have it.
Really?
And Willingham said that they're free game. I mean, I personally wouldn't do it, but I'm sure there's somebody out there would want a little shot at Elementals. Same way with Fable, also a gray area.
Yeah, well, DC owns that, so
he says they don't.
Owns Fable?
Yeah.
I thought that got put up in public domain too. I thought that as
Well,
a kind of.
All right, so here's the explanation. Here's the explanation I'll give, and I don't know the truth, so just say. But it was my understanding that Fables Willingham took Fables to DC, said, "Here's a project." DC bought the project, right?
Right.
So that would be like me going to work on Batman and then saying, "Okay, I'm going to put Batman in the public domain." I can't do it because I don't own it, right? Willingham created it, but I'm not sure he has the rights to do it because he sold it to DC.
Yeah, well, I think they had a partnership. I think it was still his. I mean, he claims that he has creator papers, and the TV show Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah.
They wanted to do Fables, and he wouldn't let them, and so that's the reason they went in the direction that they went with fairy tales.
Yeah.
And so if he's the one to put the kibosh on it, that tells me he's got some stroke with that property, because that was his explanation in the decree to public domain, is that he has creator papers, and that DC has the rights to publish what they published.
Okay,
but
if
as
that's
far
the
as
case,
new stuff,
he owns it.
you can do it.
Yeah. If that's the case, he owns it, and DC. What that means is that DC controls the stuff that they published.
Exactly.
No one else can do
Nobody
that.
can touch that.
Right. But the characters then, if this is the case, the characters then can be used by anybody moving forward.
Supposedly, that's the way he explained it. He said that's the way it works. That public domain is for the characters in new works. You have to do it in new works and not reference the DC stuff
at all.
I don't believe you can. That's most public domain stuff.
Okay.
Everybody who's ever done the Black Terror, the thousands of Black Terrors that are out there, you can't reference the previous ones because
that's not true.
It's copyright
legally, yeah. David A. Gutierrez, we'll come back to this. David A. Gutierrez says, but Willingham did it under the Vertigo deal, didn't he? I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
He did? Okay.
No. I don't know the answer either.
Okay.
I was agreeing with you.
Going by what he said he did, but who knows?
Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
It's DC's million lawyers. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I don't remember I don't remember the resolution. I remember when it was kind of making the airwaves, right? But I don't remember.
I don't think there was one. Like everything I'm seeing online says it's still being disputed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not over yet then. Well, and the sad thing about this is, as Mike kind of pointed out, is that DC's got an army of lawyers.
Yeah.
Army and tons of money they just throw at it to delay.
Yeah, and I'm not sure an individual. I'm not about to guess Willingham's financial grounds right now, but I can't imagine an individual would have much luck going against somebody like DC. So let's go back to the public domain thing. I see your comment there, David. Hang on a second. Let's go back to the public domain thing. So public domain, you can reference the stuff from public domain because it's in the public domain, right?
Yeah,
so,
but I was just talking about the new stuff. Like when somebody does a new version.
Correct.
Yeah,
yes.
That's what I was saying.
Right. Yeah. So if the content is in the public domain, you can reference that.
Yeah.
Let's say like if you and I let's say Amazing Man, right? Amazing Man is in the public domain. So you can go do an Amazing Man and put him in that Man in the Mask guy. I can do an Amazing Man and put him in Cat Mouse. We can both reference the original Amazing Man because that's public domain. I can't reference yours without your permission. You can't reference mine without my permission because we own the new stuff,
Yep.
right? Yeah. So yeah, that's interesting. I would be really curious to see how that. See, we're talking about news anyway. I'd be really curious to see how that Fables, the whole thing ended up. David A. Scudres says, "Aren't all of Fables characters public domain anyway?" Well, yes.
It's still considered.
I mean, the characters themselves, like the Big Bad Wolf, of course.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
Is public, but Big B Wolf, as in Fables, is not.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, those characters are based off of fairy tales and things like that, and those original characters absolutely are. We could go do our own version of the Big Bad Wolf, right? But we cannot do the Big Bad Wolf as the way it was done in Fables.
Yeah, it's the same way like with Disney. You could do Snow White, you just can't do their version of Snow White. You
Right.
can't do their version of Cinderella. It's just anything that's been new. Like if we ever did Black Terror, we couldn't reference Chuck Dixon and Bo Smith's Black Terror from the 80s and
no.
so on and so forth.
Yeah, and the other thing about doing something like a Cinderella or a Snow White or something is that you could do it, right? Let's say we're going to do a Cinderella, but I would be willing to bet the minute you slap something on the title that says Cinderella, they're coming after you, even if your story is nothing like it, because they've got they've got that property that they're going to try to protect, right? David Rio says, I'm doing one of the multiple Black Terrors. I guess I am added to the list. Yeah. He goes, that's it. I'm doing Protectors Volume 2. Come at me, Disney. Well, the truth is, those. So you can't do Protectors, right? Because actually, I'd get a lawyer to look because I bet Marvel doesn't know or hasn't protected that title. But you can't do those characters the way that Malibu did them, right? You would have to go back to the original Centaur characters and then base what you've done off of those original Centaur characters and move that forward. If that
isn't that what RA's doing? Didn't he do novelizations of those?
Yes, he did. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, so public domain is goofy, it's weird, it's funny. I like public domain. Obviously, Miss Fury, right? Miss Fury is public domain. I tell people the funny thing about it is Miss Fury wasn't public domain when Adventure Malibu did the series in the 90s, right? And one of the things I always, this is kind of, one of the things I always say is like, hey, I was able to write the first new Miss Fury since the 1940s. And now it's public domain. Anyone can do it, right? As long as they reference the 1940 stuff. No one can reference the Malibu version. That's a good question. I think I know my answer to that. David A. Scooter says, would Silverline do its own version of Superman, etc., when they become available? I don't know. That's my honest answer to you. Jose says yes. I don't know. I'm inclined to say possibly. You know, if we could do something
Instead of Superman, it'd be Silverman.
Super Silverman.
Super Silver.
Silver Superman. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Superman in particular. But maybe some of the lesser known characters. I mean, that's part of one of the reasons that I like Miss Fury is that there wasn't. I mean, there were several. Because it started off as a newspaper strip. I don't know if most people know that.
Yep.
And so there were, I don't know how many couple of years it went on. But there's a lot of stuff in that original strip that I really like. And so I like the character quite a bit, and it doesn't have a whole. The problem with a character, this is my opinion now. You guys speak up. The problem for me with a character like Superman is there's what 80. I can't do math, but there's like 80 years of backstory that just seems to kind of become bogged down. Miss Fury didn't have that, right? She didn't have a whole lot. She had some, but she didn't have a whole lot to bog down. So
I don't think I'd want to compete against that.
I mean, Superman's been retconned like 9 times, so
yeah, but again, you know, the Superman, it's too big. You know,
that's fair.
Because the thing about it is like it's like the first issue that Captain Marvel, you know, Shazam was featured in.
Yeah.
The very first issue went
Captain Marvel,
like last year, and you could do a version only based on that first issue. You could not do ancillary characters. You could not. It had to be that version of Captain Marvel.
That's interesting.
But the issue is, you would still deal with DC's trademarks.
Yes.
And confusion.
Yeah.
That's the big issue. You may have the right to do something, and you may not be able to even feature on the cover, but their lawyers will come after because of trademark.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
And I think that's to me that's part of it as well.
Yeah.
Matt Likes Comics helped me out with the math here. He said 2026 minus 1938 is 88
I mean,
years.
you weren't off. You weren't that far off.
Thanks, Matt. I appreciate that. I am math challenged. Steve Scott says hi, all from Belgium, and a super big thanks to talented Mike Belcher for the great reading material this week.
Hey, Steve, no problem. I was glad to do it.
Matt Likes Comics says American copyright law is so difficult. Yeah, it is.
It can be.
It can be, yeah.
I think that's on purpose. I think honestly they made it crazy on purpose.
Hold on here.
I've been cleaning my office out. I've been cleaning my office like crazy, and I come across a Steve Scott print.
Nice.
I love
Sweet. That's nice. All right. Well, so that was fun. Shop talk. Let me get rid of that. So anyway, go sign up on the Kickstarter. The link is there. At least go follow.
Right.
There's a couple of pieces here we want to talk about. The first thing we want to talk about, let me share this one. Whoops, wrong button. Share screen. Don't be laughing, Roberta. Sales charts. Here we go.
Laughing with you.
Yeah. All right. So this is from, where did I get this from? This is from the Comic Speak. Yep. And we're just going to scroll down here. Let's see. Oh, it didn't show my image, did it? Oh, yeah, it did. All right. So there's the top 10 titles for July. Absolute Batman number 22 is the first one. Absolute Green Arrow, Absolute Catwoman, and then there's Batman Terminal number 1. And these are percentages; they're not actually numbers. I think.
Is that percentage in sales?
I think so. So here we go. These are estimated units, right? These are big numbers, y'all. The Absolute Batman 483,000. Now, obviously, we dropped pretty quickly, but I think it's really cool to see the Turtles up there at 160,000 copies, right? What's Dungeon Crawler Carl? Anybody
So
know?
Dungeon Crawler Carl is actually like a book, like a novel that got turned into a comic book, and I'm semi in the middle of reading the novel. By reading, I mean audio read, because I can't sit there and just grab a book.
Right. Yeah. So you're not reading, you're listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one of the things I want to point out here is look at this absolute, right? Absolute is dominating.
Is that how?
But how much is that as a variant covers? Because you see that.
Yeah, because there's a huge flood of variant covers, and not knocking, because I know people who have done variant covers for them, for like some of the stores and stuff like that before DC put the smash on them. But I mean, I don't know. That seems inflated.
I mean, that's a big drop off between Absolute Martian Manhunter and, or sorry, I guess Terminal will be, what is that, Kurtman and Image?
Yeah.
What's Queen in Black?
I think so. Queen in Black is a Marvel movie. Marvel crossover going on right now, like the King in Black with Null. Only this is Hela is like the Queen in Black now.
It looks cool.
It's the artwork looks phenomenal. I've read part of it.
So
obviously not all of it, but
so out of the top 10 books, Marvel has one book in there.
Yeah.
That's just a huge reversal, right? You said Terminal is Image?
Yeah, that's Kurtman and David.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got 3 out of the top 10. You got 3 indie books. Terminal.
And Terminal just came out, didn't it? Didn't it just like recently come out?
Yeah, I think it's like a brand new book.
Yeah.
I think it's his attempt at doing X-Men. I think I saw that on a YouTube video. Somebody was reviewing it.
It was a very homage cover to that. That one Avengers cover that had like Wolverine and Black Widow and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah. But one of the things I want to say is that if we look at these top numbers here, and I think what a lot of people don't realize is back just a few years ago, our highest selling, and I say our like it's mine, but the industry's highest selling book was about 120,000 copies. And I don't think people realize how low the industry had gotten. And this is, of course, why everybody's yelling, "Oh no, the industry is over. It's we're going to collapse." But when you have your number one book selling 120,000 copies, and I think there was only like 2 or 3 the ones I remember seeing. There's only like 2 or 3 books sold more than 100,000 copies, and then they dropped down really quick into the 60,000s. But now look, every book in the top 10 is selling well over 100,000 copies. And the top 2 are nearly, 500,000 units.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know, Mike, about the variant covers. I don't know how that affects these numbers. I'm going to guess all of the variant covers are included in there.
They would have to be. I know I'm probably getting the guy who keeps saying, but I mean the thing about it is, variants do count into it, but I look from the point of view is like if there's 20 covers and people are clamoring for these covers, how many people are reading the books?
Right.
I mean, it just seems very speculator driven to me. All the absolute books, because I think all the speculators are hoping that they keep grabbing all these, just like they did 30 years ago. They grabbed these variant covers, these things, but when it comes right down who's reading them, because the variants are going right into a slab. And it's not going to be read. And so, I mean, it goes back to the same conversation. It's like, how much is that being read? I mean, I hope it is. I mean,
I do too.
For the good of the industry, I hope it is. I look at maybe something like Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I kind of believe that number as far as
that seems like
people reading it.
So I had a thought about, all of these different covers, and I was wondering if I was interested in getting whatever series I'm into. I'm reading it. I don't pick it up because I heard somebody's illustrating the cover or whatever.
No.
Or, it's like the collector part is, a different personality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most
Yeah.
people that do like the comics, they will pick up whatever covers in the store.
Right. I think one of the things that hurts, I think going along with this, I think, Roberta, is that one of the things that this whole collector mentality can do is can hurt the casual buyer, right?
Yeah.
Like Absolute Batman. I noticed that's number 22 there. But if you wanted to go out and buy Absolute Batman #1, could you afford it now? I know the one thing I will say that DC has done, which I think is a good thing, is they've kind of kept it in print. How many prints is the
20?
Is it 20?
I think it's up to 20.
I think that's a great thing, because that means someone who is more interested in it can go in. They're not going to get a first print, but they can still get the first issue at a reasonable price and say, well, I've heard so much about this Absolute Batman. Let me buy it and let me try it out. And I think that's where the speculation collector market hurts. That is when something comes out, they go buy them all up. And then the average Joe's like, oh, I heard about this. Let me go in and say, oh, yeah, here's the first issue. It's $20. Well, I'm not going to buy it for $20.
12. It's up to printing 12. At
12. That's still a lot, though.
That's a lot.
Yeah. When you consider, we still look at second and third printings as a lot. Yeah. See, here's great numbers. I'm skipping some, but I'm going to come back to you guys. Steve Scott says, when I was drawing the Batman series just before New 52, I think it was selling just under 70,000.
For Batman.
Yeah, and that's Batman. Yeah. And now look here. So this is Batman number 11, right? It's 300,000. So I think one of the things we see that the Absolute has done is I do think we see spillage. But again, like Mike asked, how many variant covers does Batman 11 have? Right. I don't know the answer to that.
No.
Yeah. Several comments here. David Rios says, what is this clean my office nonsense you speak of?
Are you seeing this? I'm not even accomplishing it. I can say it in vain.
Steve Scott says, you're too kind, my friend. Talking about his print. Matt Likes Comics says the Absolute line is keeping DC in business. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
David Rios says Dungeon Crawler Carl is awesome.
It's like I said, I haven't read the comic,
but you're listening to the book.
I'm listening to the book. Yeah. Honestly, I started listening to it. I think because Dave said it was funny, like it was a good book.
That's cool.
Well, the guy who's doing Dork, didn't he kind of spill out of that? Brett Bean.
Really?
He did stuff for he was doing stuff with Scotty Young, right? And then did his own Dork, and then that has like a ton of cop prints and whatnot too. Like in that book, I know personally, because I bought the blanks for it when it came out. I just happened to buy it on a whim. I was just like, oh yeah, that looks cool. I'll go ahead and pick it up. And then the next day it bumped up to like $250 on eBay.
Wow.
The blank, just the blank.
See, that's one that I kind of had interest in just because it had a goofy name. But when I went to look, I'm like, holy man, it was like $25. I'm like, I am not giving that for that first issue when I just want to try it out and see what it's like, David Rios said,
a funny, goofy story.
What's that?
It's a funny, goofy story.
That's kind of what I've heard.
It's enjoyable, yeah.
Yeah. Terminal is Andy Kubert, Arthur Adams, and David Finch collaborate with Kirkman. Wow, that's some pretty impressive names right there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Steve Scott said, I wish back issues would go down in value as I actually enjoy reading the comics and not flipping. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm afraid that you are in a minority there, with probably most of us, I would guess. And then David Rios says, absolutely, Batman's has 2 trades out so far. So I could go buy a trade then if I wanted to try out Absolute Batman.
Yep.
And I'm thinking that's probably what I'll do with Dork because
wait for the trade.
Yeah, because it does sound a little goofy wonky kind of thing that I would be interested in,
And it's a nice little indie success story.
Yeah.
One guy.
It is. Yeah.
It's nice to see that it, it's one guy instead of a big franchise. It's something to see that.
I am more interested in that than I am in the absolute stuff.
Yeah.
Even though I've heard the absolute stuff is good, I'm more interested in Dork than I am
Absolute stuff is interesting. I've read some here and there. I've not read the whole thing, but
yeah,
there's part of it where it's a lot to take in for me anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just like, really?
that reminds.
It's not for me. So
Yeah.
That you talking about the absolute stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Jose, I'm sorry. It reminded me. Your thing then just reminded me of a skit. Oh shoot! It was an old British comedy thing around the time of the Young Ones. It's two police officers. Roberta's already laughing, and I haven't said it yet.
Already laughing.
There were two officers standing side by side, right? And one of them said, "You know how I look at life?" He goes, "No, how?" He goes, and the guy next to him, he says, does that let you see it any better? No, that's just the way I look at it.
I've never. Is that the show, The Young Ones? Is that what it's called?
Oh, you need to watch The Young Ones, dude. That's
true comedy.
Growing up, I would watch Are You Being Served?
Oh yeah. I've seen a few of those.
I don't know why, but
and
then when Deb and I met, and now I found out she likes it too, and so we could just sit there and laugh at the dumbest jokes on that show.
You must watch The Young Ones. There's only I want to say like 3 seasons. It's British comedy.
I was really young, but it was awesome.
Yeah, well, we watched it in I think we watched the reruns, but we watched it in college is when I first found it. But we would laugh. Oh my gosh. And it's just, it's 4 British guys, roommates. Yeah, Vivian. You all hate me. You just hate me. So, all right. So there was that. That was that. We went off the Young Ones.
Anyway, that's a tangent.
Yeah. Tangents are good.
Mm-hmm. I sent our buddy who we haven't seen here on a while, the Hyper Potato. He sends me things on Instagram or Twitter, and he's a Young Ones fan as well. And I found someone had done Charlie Brown as the Young Ones. It was so hilarious. I had to forward it on to him. David Rio says Art Adams is doing interiors on some terminal issues. Wow,
that's awesome. He's not done interiors in a while.
Yeah, in a long time. Yeah. I hope he's not doing every issue, huh? Because you might have to wait on
that. Is a lot of perspective grid.
It's just like, you might have to wait on them. Yeah. David Rio says that Young Ones, they join the police and say, "Open up, it's the pigs." It's true. They go to a party. Steve Scott says Faulty Towers, coupling, and more. Yeah, Faulty Towers is fun. I don't know coupling. I'll have to look that up. All right. Anybody else got anything before I put the next one up there? You guys, we didn't do our homework today. It's the only thing I got.
I've got a few things, but
okay,
you were going to talk about something else. So I mean,
no. Please. What you got, Mike?
I'm just going to say, looking around the indie scene, we're going to have Lloyd Smith on. Is it next week or the week after? Which one? I can't remember.
Let me pull my calendar up and I can tell you. Lloyd's next week. Yeah.
Okay, great. As Lloyd will tell us next week, and I've sent you a couple of images on the chat.
Oh, okay.
His anthology title at Blue Moon Comics is Diversions, and they have hit number 25.
That is crazy incredible.
That is, I sent you 2 covers, and I think you'll recognize one of the covers as far as the signatures. Our old buddy Quentin's on one of them.
Yes.
Oh, really?
And then, as far as, like I said, it's the anniversary, like 25 for an indie series.
That's crazy.
We have to give that up. I mean, it's definitely news to share. And as you can tell, like I said, you pull up these covers, we're That is by J.W. Irwin, and like I said, the diversion stuff is good. It's a nice.
Cool.
It's not. It's people will look at it and see nostalgia, but these are new heroes, new characters, new stories, and enjoy them. I mean, we should embrace this.
Yeah.
That's the one by Quentin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, by Stephen Butler. I think Stephen did that. I think Quentin's one inked it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sure enough.
That's nice.
Yeah. 25. That's pretty impressive for an indie. Jose, Roberta, that's what we're gonna do. That's where we're headed with Cat and
25?
Mouse.
All
That's
right.
where we're going.
I like
That's where
it.
we're going.
That's a good
Awesome.
beginning
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that's so you so Mike, I'm not as familiar. I know I'm familiar with Blue Moon, of course, but I'm not as familiar with this anthology. Is this a monthly anthology?
It's I wouldn't call it monthly, but I
Okay.
am really impressed how fast Lloyd gets these out. I mean, it like I said, it's not a monthly book because we're all indie people and doing a monthly
Right.
anthology, but it's he has got a core group of guys, and he's starting to have a nice little segment of characters to follow. I don't know about anybody. I used to grow up with picking up the DC Digest of Adventure Comics, and they'd have 5 or 6 different characters, in them
Yeah.
that I was, and each digest you go to is a continuing piece, and so that's the reason this feels really very familiar to me. Reading these books, and like I think they hold up against anything out there.
I don't know what that is. That's Matthew Cracky, author, says 440 joules, Uncle Alert. But the comment looks different than anything I've ever seen here.
It's like
So,
highlighted, right? Something.
yeah, that's cool
Uh,
looking.
What is that?
I don't have any idea. Matthew, maybe you can tell us. It looks really, really cool, though. 440 joules, Alert. Yeah, I don't really know what that is. I've never seen that before, but it looks really cool.
But the thing about anything that Blue Moon does, they don't crowdfund.
Oh,
These books are done out of a love for comics,
Yeah.
and all the creators. Like I said, you've got Lloyd Smith. He may be the head honcho, but he's got a ton of guys. You got Dana Black. We know Dana.
Right.
Like I said,
Yeah.
J.W. Irwin, and like I said, he's got Quentin, and he had a great artist, Hani Katab. He's an Egyptian artist, wonderful artist. That
Nice.
he's starting to get. I said these guys are putting into these stories. Again, I think a lot of people, when they look at indie comics, they think, oh, that's just your version of this mainstream character, or that's just
Yeah.
your version of this. But indie comics are so much more than that, because, quite frankly, some mainstream characters are inspired by other mainstream characters.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no difference. But we're talking about story. We're talking about, guys that are putting their heart and soul into bringing entertainment. They're not trying to make you. They're not trying to give you a collectible. Like we're not giving a collectible either at Silverline. We are trying to be entertaining. We are trying to, when you plunk down your dollars for a comic, we want to be worth it. And so
we want you to talk about, hey, did you read that story? Not, oh, did you get the cool slabbable cover on this comic?
Exactly.
Right? We want you to go read the story and then say, oh man, that's so cool. I need to tell my buddies about how cool the story is. All right, so I gotta interrupt us here. Matthew Cracky says it's a donation of $4. Dude, thank you so very much.
That's great.
Wow, that is very cool. I will say this, Matthew, you are the very first, because I've never seen that before. So thank you very kindly. I appreciate that one very much. Steve Scott says Diversion's art looks great and it is an anthology. Yes, it is. I think we need more of those.
we need more anthologies.
That's what he says. Yeah.
Okay.
He says, who else here enjoyed Dark Horse Presents or Caliber Presents? Love those.
Yeah, those are great books.
Those are good.
The problem is, and you guys know where I'm going with this, the problem is, for the most part, anthologies don't sell very well.
No.
there are always exceptions, yes, and Dark Horse Presents is certainly the exception. I think anthologies can work best. Like one of the things Dark Horse Presents did is they had an anchor story, right? That's something that was drawing people to it, and then the other stories were just, hey, yeah, you're going to get this alien story, but also these other stories. David A. Scooter says, "Uh-oh, Roland took his glasses off."
Yeah, I know. I'm spiting.
So I think we as creators like anthologies because there's a couple of reasons, right? Number one, they're easy to do. You can. It's a limited commitment. For as far as creators go, there's a 6-page story, an 8-page story, or something like that. We did our Christmas anthology, and that was I thought it was a whole lot of fun, but the 2 issues that we've solicited out for shops, just no one seems to, and it's Christmas themed, right? So you would think, oh well, it's not just an anthology, but it has a theme with it. I'm currently committed to doing this annually as long as all these guys up here want to continue to contribute. But the problem is that we're having problem getting people interested in it.
I'd say anthologies are a tough sell because
they are
historically they're kind of slapped together. But I think that Dark Horse Presents always had a strong lineup. I mean, heck,
yes.
Didn't Sin City debut in it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah.
That they always put the quality in there, and
yes.
I think a good anthology, that's the hallmark of a good anthology. It doesn't skimp on the fact that it's an anthology. It puts the best it can in that, and I think that especially in small press, if you could kind of laser focus what you're trying to do with an anthology, I think it could be very successful. And it's a great sampling of what your storytelling is about.
Well, I don't know. I know I haven't talked about it too much, but I've actually pitched to several different independent publishers an idea of like a quarterly manga style anthology. My thinking was, hey, look, if we can get 10 publishers to commit to doing something quarterly, right? Quarterly, for those of you who don't know, that's 4 times a year. Right, so every 4th
3 months.
Yeah, 3 months. Yeah, I'm like, you know what? Look, if Silverline can do a story, and 9 other publishers do a story, we could print something thicker, print it on cheaper paper, get it out so that people can have access to it. I can't get anybody interested. I can't get any other publisher interested in doing it.
Hateful publisher. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding.
Therein lies some of the issues that we have in the indie world, is that the tribal stuff. I mean, no one really. I mean, it's easy to talk about how we're all in it together, but when it comes to things like that actually could benefit us all, everybody's in their own corner, and I don't understand that.
And I'm not going to mention any names, throw anybody under the bus, because I still like all these people, right? All the ones that I've reached out to. And I reached out to I reached out to about 6 different people. My thought was, hey, if I could get 3 of them on board, then some of the others would say, oh, you've got this person and this person. Yeah, okay, I want to come on board, right? But it's just like they're just not interested, and I don't know what else to do and how to try to get somebody interested in that.
Yeah.
So
that really is a great idea, because again, we could put a really good price tag on that would be attractive to somebody wanting to try out a different
and the
stuff.
thing about it is, right, we all and the ones I approached have a like us, have a library of stuff that it's like, look, you don't have to create new material for it, right? We just say everyone gets 30 pages and you fill your 30 pages, right? And we just start, okay, well, look, this month we're going to do Trump's #1. Next month we'll do Trump's #2, or, we'll do Trump's in the year. Then the next year we'll move on to Twilight Grimm or Kalis or whatever. we've got and all of the other publishers that I approach have the same thing. They have content. So it's not like we would have to generate a lot of new content for the anthology. We have it, right? So why not do it and try to reach a broader audience? But I don't know. Steve Scott said, the quarterly idea you have is great, Roland. Too bad no one jumped on that. Yeah, it was depressing because so many of them said no so quickly. And it's not like, hey, let me think. A lot of times if Mike comes to me with an idea, I'm like, let me think about it, Mike. I don't, I'm not going to just discard it immediately. I'm like, okay, well, Mike's bringing it. I know Mike. I trust Mike. I like Mike. So let me think about it. I might still say no, but it's like, at least let me cogitate a little bit. There's a word for you. There's a word for you, Jose. Write that one down. Let me cogitate some, right? It's like, don't just automatically say no. But yeah, that was.
I guess they're worried.
Well, I get that.
It's a bigger risk for smaller publishers. So,
It is, but in my thinking, right? If we can get 10 publishers to do it, we share the risk, right? Roberta.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
She's going to go get her nunchucks so she can persuade the others.
She's going to go get her big, thick anthology and say, look, see, right? We talked on here before the whole idea of the manga, the anthologies and things like that. And that's kind of what my thinking was, is like, look, if we could get, again, 10 publishers at 30 pages is 300 pages, right?
Yeah.
If we could get 10, we could print, let's just say, 1,000 copies, right? 1/10 of the cost for every publisher. I get to take them and we can solicit them as well. So whatever we solicit is above and beyond the 1,000 copies, right? That money that we make from solicitation will go to pay for it, and then we split the cost, and then we get to go and sell them at shows, right?
Yeah.
Probably for not very much, but anyway,
all the much, Jefe, all the much,
yeah. So yeah, it's too bad. Like Mike said, it's funny because there's so much talk in the industry about how we're all together, but there's
you just have to give them more time to constipate on it, okay?
Yeah.
Did I spell that wrong? Is that did I say it?
Not quite it.
Yeah.
So close.
Yeah, so this all started as a big thumbs up for Blue Moon to making issue 25.
Right?
Okay,
yeah.
Like I said, it should, we should celebrate stuff like that when our compatriots can stick their nose to the grindstone. I mean, we all know this isn't easy work.
Right.
No.
It's even harder work when you've got a day job and you're trying to squeeze it in between already a tight life as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sit here and be able to put that much material together in a certain amount of time. Definitely. Yeah. Again, people tune in next week. We'll have Lloyd, and we'll have to pick his brain about how he gets all this stuff done.
Yeah. That's a great idea, Mike. Bring the questions. I'll tell him we're coming loaded for bear. Yeah.
Like day jobs, you guys aren't living that rock star comic book creator life.
Yeah.
No, it's just me.
I'm looking forward to it.
Halfway. Like, I want to see it over the edge. I just assume it's over the hill somewhere.
It's coming. It's coming,
right?
Jose. It's coming, man. Yeah, I still take. I mean, everyone who listens regularly knows this. I am thankful that my day job allows me to talk about comic books.
That is awesome.
For those who don't know, I teach at a university and I teach creative writing. But my class for comic books, that's my primary class. I teach more than that, but my primary class is writing for comics and graphic novels. And so I get to talk about those all day long. In fact, last Wednesday was one of my favorite days and I always tell my students this is one of my favorite days because this is my show and tell day. And I bring in original art and I show them,
nice.
I show them pencils, I show them inks, I show them letters, and I show them colors. Right. And then I also I put up on the screen, like, here's how this is done digitally. Right. This is because I bring in
you showed them
paper.
our stuff?
What's that?
You showed them our stuff?
No, I have.
I was gonna say. I was like,
I don't have. I haven't asked any of you guys, and I don't have permission to do any of that.
So I took yours.
What I show them. Let me go. So I wrote some X Mutants, and
You borrowed it.
Mike Miller, who inked those pages, gave me 2 pages from the X Mutants.
nice.
Our buddy Stephen Butler. A lot of people don't remember or don't know that I was his roommate when a lot of that stuff was happening, and so I'm very blessed to have a couple of his pages. I've got a page of Avengers that he did, in which all of the letters were pasted on, but they fell off. And so I have the artwork, and you can see all the glue spots.
I was saying you can see like the tape squares everywhere.
It was glued
Was it
on.
glue? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Glue.
So I found the page online. So I put the digital version of that page that's colored and lettered up on the screen, and then say, well, here's the original art minus
That's
the
cool.
letters.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
So, and I just walk them through the process. I just say, it's an assembly line process. And part of it is on telling them the importance of not being late, because writers are at the very front of the assembly line process, right? Like, here's why you can't be late if you're the writer, because the penciler, the inker, the colorist, and the letterer all have to come after you. And if you're holding up the project, then you're going to make people upset because you're biting into their time to get the project done. Look at this. Rob Davis says, living large on comics. That's right. Steve Scott says, I am only doing comics since 2006. Lucky for it. Just finished drawing a John Sable story.
Nice.
What the heck? Really? John Sable? Oh, I need to know more, Steve Scott. Cassisi says, LOL. And he goes, and then he says, I remember those days. Class was fun. Yeah, Cassisi was
Cassisi was one of your students?
Cassisi was one of my
You literally
students.
know everybody.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was. I know Tim was.
Tim was, yeah. Yeah, well, sometimes, I'll leave it up to them to say whatever they want to say. But yeah, Cassisi was absolutely
cool.
he was one of my rock stars. Yeah.
I have not had a teacher tell me that. One of my teachers came and saw me at New York City Comic Con when I tabled there, and my wife, in her ever lovingness, was like, "Oh, he was one of your best students," and he goes, "Oh no, not at all." But he was the most consistent. I was like,
most consistent is a good thing, though.
It is.
Yeah, but I'm like, no matter what, even if he was taking longer, he got it done.
Sticking to it.
Yeah, no matter what, he got it done. Even
so,
if so.
Here's what I will say about kind of in general in my class. So I don't know, we don't have as many today as we had like a couple of years ago, but we were getting a pretty good number of former military students coming in. And what I would always say about these students is they were some of my best students. Now, you have to listen to those words very carefully. I didn't say they were my best writers. Right. I said they were some of my best students, right? Because one of the things that I found about them is they did their work, they did it on time, they did it just like clockwork, right? And so that's as an instructor, that's always fun to see, because it's like, okay, look, it looks like you are giving me, it looks like you're trying, right? It looks like you're giving me effort. Cassisi said kind words. Thanks. You are welcome, Cassisi. You deserve it, sir. Yeah, Cassisi was always fun. Okay.
I think that when Steve's John Sable story gets out, we definitely have to have him back.
Absolutely.
That's comic indie royalty right there. I mean,
no kidding.
Grill and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to know more about that. Oh, thank you, Steve. Steve says, everyone listening, Give a thumbs up if you are enjoying. It helps the channel. Even if you are listening after the fact, right?
Yeah.
Even if you're not catching us live, if you're catching us on the rerun or just
All
listening,
counts.
even if it's next year when you're listening, please give us a thumbs up because it does, as Steve points out, it helps the channel.
That's right. John Sable, that's an older character, right? You gave
It
me
is.
Some, you gave me some of
the
those.
first comics.
I gave you some of my extras before
Yeah.
I bought the app.
Oh.
I did. I went through. I started clearing out some of my indies because I have the app now. So I'm like, I've got 2 copies. Yeah. So I gave you 6 or 7 of them, didn't I? 6 or 7.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Don't do that. Don't.
Steve said, Mike, you bet I will be happy to come back and share it. Yeah, absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, Mike, you got something else?
I was going to say that this Wednesday on the Milton Gazette, I'm picking up issue 7. And
7.
Yeah. Well, 8's already in print. I've already got 8 in print, before, and it'll be a couple of weeks before I start serializing it on
Right.
Yeah. But I just started number 9.
Sweet.
So,
Man,
train rolls on.
You are a machine, Mike. Seriously.
Here's the
Sometimes
question
this
for you.
machine wants some oil.
That oil's called ice cream, just letting you know. That helps.
I agree with that.
But yeah, I started 9 and after I had a pretty big lettering job come in from a pretty noted other piece of comic history, but I can't say anything about it yet.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
but I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Nice. So, let's talk about Man and Mask for a minute. So you start at 9. Do you know where you're going with this? Do you have an idea where 10, 11, 12? Do you have an idea where those are going?
Yeah, I've got it. I've got it plotted to 24.
Wow, 24.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Because again, I'm trying to put plots and subplots and little things in there that are trying to keep it moving right. So I just kept going until now. I've got ideas after 24, but I'm not saying all that, but where I self-funded, if I can keep doing these between things, I might make it to 24. I don't know. I hope so.
Yeah.
But I've got it planned out because, I've got, it's like this story here with issue 9 will finish a 3-parter, and really it's kind of, the whole point of the story was to kind of exercise my action abilities.
Yeah.
Sometimes a story is kind of built around the idea of, where do I think I need to work on, and this particular, the story I had, but the limit and the depth of it is kind of where I kind of elongated the story a little bit because I didn't want to play with again I'm trying to present the story as best I can.
Yeah.
So if you can't learn while you're the way I tell things, I'm learning as I'm going. That's what drawing comics is all about. You learn as you go. And
well, I think it's cool. That you're like, hey, I want to work on action scenes, and so this is what I'm going to try to do in this story.
Yeah,
I think that's cool.
I'm trying to emphasize, different angles, different little things. Like I said, I have the skeleton story, but as far as how many, what I wanted to do in it, this one was my, it's my homage to 80s fighting tournament movies. With the weird characters and
yeah.
Just the personalities and characters, because I love that about I love that about comics. You have that luxury of introducing all these things on page and bringing the story out in little details and side.
Yeah, I think was it last week or week before last? I think we were talking about it live on the stream. I know we were talking about it, but I can't remember if we were live. We were talking about how inking has changed, and so much of the art looks so realistic today. And these are comic books; they don't have to look realistic, and they really, I don't think they shouldn't look realistic. I don't want them to look like photos. I want them to look like comic books.
Yeah.
That was probably one of my pet peeves for like any comic book anywhere. manipulate art however you want and whatnot, but I am not a fan of taking a picture of a cityscape and then manipulating it in Photoshop, tweaking it up, changing it up and whatnot. And then that's my background. I'm like, dude,
Well,
that just doesn't do it for me.
And you and I looked at some art this week.
Yep.
That we talked about that. And one of the things I'm thankful for is that Roberta, and David, if he's still listening, they get, in my opinion, they get what we're trying to do. They get what comics should be, and when Roberta's finished with a page, I don't look at it and go, oh, it looks like a painting now. It's like, no,
Right.
This looks like a really brilliantly colored comic book page.
I hope so.
And
So-
a lot of the mainstream comics, when I flip through them, all I can think about is the people using the 3D abilities of Clip Studio and drawing over top of them. I hate that.
Oh
I
my
said,
God.
Yeah, there's no exaggeration in it.
there's no exaggeration and there's no
No.
life to them. And
There's
yeah,
no expression. There's
yeah,
just
it gets the job done if you want to get technical about it. But what about the
Yeah,
I-
yeah.
I-
It just
you got to do something with them.
and I think the colors have a tendency to just look muddy, right? It's like they
They
for
do.
some reason they don't like primary colors anymore. They're afraid of red. They're afraid of yellow. They're afraid of right. I mean, they're afraid of those primary colors, and everything just gets muddied out. And I'm just like, I don't like it. It's like I look at it and I'm like, what's wrong, right? Did they just drag it through the mud and then say, look here?
Looks like looking
Well,
on your
there's-
wall behind you. You could tell how much life of color is in all those books that are behind.
Oh
you.
yeah. I mean,
there's no muddiness there. Even in those
Nope.
little tiny viewing it the way we do it, it's got life. It's got something.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. 100%. Rob Davis says, and don't forget that Jack Kirby did collage work with photographs in his work. I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I didn't realize that. I don't see any in my head. Steve Scott says, Mike, it's impressive. A heck of a workload, my friend, and great stuff.
I appreciate
True.
that.
We agree.
It means a lot.
I got one more piece, and I guess we'll call it a night. Let me share this here. So, this is, I don't think I'm showing anything personal on my Facebook here, but this was something that was shared in our group here. Is the Indie Comics Alliance, right? This is their press release here. Is established, and the first set of publishers are announced. So, for those of you who have already asked me, yes, I am looking into it. Yes, I have dropped them a line just to see what's up. But here's a whole bunch of publishers that they've announced. And it says they're going to offer independent publishers reasonable distribution into retail bookstores and affordable printing, shipping, and storage, while creating a competitive advantage in the direct market by having a destination for customers to find indie titles. Guys, got any thoughts about this? that you can say nicely on our stream?
It's a great idea. The idea of forming together, but I think comics, unfortunately, it's more of we have to give people reasons to buy them. Just listing a book in a catalog isn't enough. It has to be, you have to give people reason to want to pick up your book.
Yeah, if I don't know anything about the characters or the story or the publisher or
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back.
You need a buzz.
I agree with you guys, right? I'm going to go back. So I follow some of the retailers, like guys like Brian Hibbs and Joe Fields and some of these big retailers from around the country. And one of the things that I've seen them talk about is the problem with a lot of independent comics today is that there's nothing they can get behind. all the independent. And what I mean by that is like all the independent comics, and Silverline is guilty of this. Okay, for the most part, it's like all the independent comics are, the idea is mini to trade or just to trade, and that's what we've been doing. That's kind of what our goal was to start off with. Right, we're going to do mini series, and we're going to go to the trade. And for us, the idea was like trades are where this is where the industry is going. But one of the things we're saying is that what's happened to like we talked about these series of the 80s and diversions, right? Getting to 25 is incredible. But so many independent comics don't last until the teens and the 20s and the 30s. And so there's nothing. Saga was really kind of the last one. And a couple of them mentioned Saga, right?
But they started faltering and not coming up with it, right?
Yeah.
So people stopped coming to the retail stores.
Right. And so this is kind of one of the things that's got me encouraged with these guys here to try to take cat and mouse to beyond 4, right? Beyond let's keep it going. Let's get people excited about the story. And will we make it to 25? Will we make it to 30? I don't know. Yeah. Jose says yes. So yeah, we're making it, right?
I don't see why not.
But do or do not, Jefe, there is no try.
There we go. That's right. So I think that's part of what this problem is with indie comics, is that it's hard for retailers to get behind them, because it's like, okay, well, I'm going to support when you come out with a trade, I'll get behind you, right? I mean, why else would they support? And I'm just rejects number 2. It's like you're only going to do 3 issues. I'll just wait till you do the trade.
Yeah.
So.
We'll get there, and then we'll see what they say.
That's right. Yeah. So I am curious about the Indie Comics Alliance. The thing that I go to, the thing that I stumble on, right, is when they talk about affordable printing. And my problem is we don't need more printers, right?
Right.
The comic book industry has plenty of printers. We need distribution. We need you to get us into the retail shops.
And shipping is insane.
The
prices are so tough.
It is. But this is what this is the advantages the distributors bring, right? If I can ship everything to the distributor, then the distributor that can take those and ship those out, right? And this is how and why the distributors work. So I don't need somebody to print. Right, there's plenty of printers out there, right? There really, really is. Why they're doing it, I don't know. But I applaud them. And they do mention in their press release, they do mention that some of the titles are already, or some of the publishers are already with Filbo, which we are. People ask us sometime, where you guys, who distributes you guys? Filbo is our distributor. Since we've lost Diamond, Filbo is our sole distributor. So for those of you who
drives to every store and drops them off by hand.
That would kind of be fun if I could actually do it.
Right. Make a road trip out of it.
Yeah. But yeah. So those of you who are like, hey, I need to get some Silverline comics into my shop. Filbo, look into Filbo. You'll get the shipping discounts and all that you would with any other distributor. So I applaud Indie Comics Alliance for trying to do that, because I think we need some of that. I am actually kind of hoping maybe that we kind of go back to the way distribution was in the 80s, late 80s, when we had a whole bunch of distributors, right? And there were a lot of them were regional, but wouldn't that be awesome, guys, if we had like 12 distributors, all of them ordering a couple hundred from us?
Well, that would be great. But the problem was with those guys in the 80s, they had everybody. The problem today, distribution in comics now is so segmented. But in the 80s, everybody had Marvel and DC. Everybody had Dark Horse. Yeah. Nobody has that now. Everybody's got exclusives. Either you're an indie distributor, or you distribute DC and Image, like in Lunar, or you're Penguin and got Marvel and Dark Horse. That's the problem. Having numerous distributors would be great, because then if they all carried everything, there would be an equal chance of getting across the country. But the
Yeah.
problem is, with the Comics Alliance here, again, we don't need more printers. We
No.
need distribution to a certain thing. But again, before somebody wants to take a book, they want to know what that book's about. And so there's still a lot of, we talk about Marvel and DC raising the ships. If they're successful, everybody else is too. But the problem is, if we were in a distributorship that had Marvel and DC, then they can look at Silverline books.
Right.
They're not having to pay extra shipping for Silverline books
Right.
to go through it. So that's what we need. We need more togetherness on distribution. Some other reasons, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
Listen, other shops out there that are watching our show, Roland will drop comics off at your shop, and he will sing the synopsis of every comic if you want over the phone. Two-part harmony.
Sing the song. I'm going to harmonize with myself.
Yes.
On a delay. You do.
Right.
Yeah.
Record one and the other, and then play.
Yeah. I've actually seen some of those street performers that can do that. That's kind of cool.
So it is very interesting because my two youngest daughters will fight because they're 2 years apart all the time over just the silliest things, right? And then it'll get real quiet. And then all of a sudden they're singing in two-part harmony. And I'm like, and they don't even try. My one daughter knows she takes melody all the time. And my other daughter just naturally, I want to harmonize. And so she'll harmonize with it. And it's crazy.
That's
so
cool.
You can do it, Roland. I got faith in you.
And you could be the stage dad. Go to America's Got Talent. Go. You could be in the corner, counting your money.
Yeah. David was talking about colors here. He goes, that's because I said they're muddy. He goes, that's because many colorists just dodge and burn, not picking lights and darks. Burning muddies it.
Dave and I have had that conversation.
Comment is too much black. Black doesn't darken.
Yep.
Well, let me ask you.
Change with a shade and give you, it's just color theory.
Well, I was gonna say, let me ask y'all a question. Do you think it's just because so many of them don't understand color theory? They know how to color,
well,
but
think
they don't
about Photoshop came from photography, which is darkroom theory, and how many people know with the chemistry gone, even what that is. Yeah. But see, I would add, and Jose, I haven't seen a whole lot of your colors, but I would argue, Roberta, and we've talked about this on the stream before. It's one of the things that I think is so smart about your colors is that everything is not photorealistic, right? And I'm just making stuff up, but sometimes your sky is going to be red because part of what you're doing, right, is you're taking into consideration the mood. You're also taking into consideration the other elements in the picture and trying to bring attention to those elements. Not that the sky is blue, right? Yeah. And so that's never bothered me. It's a red sky. Okay, well, I don't notice it when done right, which you do. I don't notice it because I'm noticing these other things, and I don't think that so many of those colorists that we're talking about that muddy stuff up, I don't think they understand all that.
They're too stuck in realism, and they don't realizing that comics aren't realism.
Yeah,
like you said, a little lesson in color theory. Truly, I personally don't feel like I've obviously mastered color theory, but I have an understanding of it when I do my own colors for anything I do. And please don't use burn and dodge for everything. Good gravy.
This is a good idea. David A. Scudder says, get Levitz on the show to talk about his book on distribution and then pivot to today's issues. You know what? I don't know Levitz. I've met him.
I don't believe that.
But but I think Tom knows him. So we have to reach out to see if Tom can get him on. All right, we'll end with this question because I'm not sure we can answer this really quickly, but we'll try. Matthew Crecky says, how much should I ask for as a goal for my first comic? if my comic is done, 24 pages long and printed, is 500 too little for my Kickstarter goal? Well, the first thing I would say is it shouldn't already be printed. if you haven't run the Kickstarter yet, how do you know how many copies you need? That would be my first question. The second question is and this is just me. You guys chime in. The second question is, how much do you think you need
Right.
for the crowdfunder? I don't know that it's so much about total amount as it is about single amount. Like I saw a crowdfunder the other day. I was like, oh, this looks really good. This looks really good. And I got to look at it. It was a 24-page comic, and it was $25. And I said,
And you're like,
yeah, no,
Nope.
I'm not. I'm not going to do that for. And again, listen, I understand in a crowdfunder, I'm going to pay a little more than I would pay at a show. I get that. I'm down with that, right? And I'm not talking about they're like
Yes.
this is our exclusive, right? This is a foil or whatever for.
You're
and this
talking a straight cover A.
this was the cheap cover, right? It was $25, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'll wait
and-
for the trade.
And I know a guy on, I think he was successful on his first crowdfund, but not by much, I believe. But his second crowdfund, he tried to crowdfund an anthology, and he put his goal for $10,000.
Ooh,
Now, this
Wow.
is someone who didn't quite finish, or art school, doesn't have a name for himself, not
Right.
really. You know what I mean? Pushing his stuff out, and he was kind of shocked and surprised that it didn't fund. And he had some good people that posted, that did pinups for it and whatnot, but nobody knows anybody on there. And I'm not
Right.
saying that nobody knows who you are, Matthew, but what I'm saying is sometimes if you've done your legwork, and again, I don't know everything that the Heffa knows, but if you've done your legwork of promoting it, pushing it, showing people, going on social media, doing the podcast and stuff like that,
right.
then like Heffa said, what you need. What
Right.
do you need? What do you need to get out of it? And I know the one guy was like, "Oh, I need to pay my artist. Shouldn't I pay my artist?" Like, dude, nobody on there is an established artist. Like, so yes, it would be great to pay the artist. Wonderful to pay the artist, but
If you get John Byrne, you're going to have to pay for John Byrne.
Well,
Right.
the question is, if it's already printed, has he already paid the artist?
Right.
If he already
It
paid the
sounds to
artist,
me like-
and if he has, and that's
Yeah.
right
Then-
on for the artist.
Yeah. Then if you've already got it printed, just you need $100, right? And then just put it up there so people can order it. You're treating it like a store at that point in
Yeah.
time.
yeah.
If you've already got it printed, you just want. There's no real reason to run a crowdfunder. Just
I mean,
treat
unless
it
you
as
want
a
to get
store.
eyes on it, you know what I mean. Do it like I said, just to pay
Right.
for shipping.
Yeah.
So if
Essentially.
you're trying to recoup costs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to look at how much have you spent on it so far. That's the thing. If you're trying to recoup costs, you're going to set your goal at whatever your costs were. Well, how much did it cost you?
Yeah, absolutely. So the thing I would say is that I would shoot lower rather than higher, because if you set it too high, then because the thing you want to do is you want to make, right? Because if you in a lot like a Kickstarter, you mentioned Kickstarter, and Fund My Comic, you get it, you can set it to get it for whatever you get. But in Kickstarter, if you don't make your goal, you don't get any of it, right?
Yeah.
So you want to set it so that you'll make it, so that you can at least get those out there. So you want to be realistic in what you think you can get. And one of the things I think I would do is calculate the number of backers you think you can get, right? Like you say, okay, I think I can get 40 backers at $10 a pop. Calculate that, right? And then that should give you an idea of what kind of numbers that you start to want.
Yeah.
Rob Davis said this. He says, not everyone needs to crowdfund. Print up the books and sell at shows.
That's very
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Worked for
I mean,
me
if
for
you've
9
already-
issues almost.
that's you haven't done it, Mike. You've never crowdfunded.
I
Man
have
in the
never
Making.
crowdfunded
Yeah.
every one of them because I never wanted that to be a reason I didn't do it.
Yeah,
To be the truth
Yeah.
of it, I never
But-
wanted it to be the reason I didn't do it.
but you've got them available for you at your shows, and they're also available on Indie Planet. I mean, they're available at places that they are easy for people to get.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, as always happens, y'all, we have blown through our time, and as always, it was fun. Any news, anything coming up you guys want to talk about? You want to announce any appearances, any shows?
No.
I got Daytona Beach Comic Con in like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. What is that?
29th and 30th.
29th and 30th. Okay. So Daytona Beach Comic Con, that's you, Haley, and Tommy, right?
Tommy.
Yeah. Excellent. So those of you in the Daytona Beach area, DeLand. Yep. August 29 and 30. Be sure you swing by and see Jose. Buy something from him. Haley,
Buy everything.
buy it all. Right? Buy it all. All right. On Tuesday, you don't need to be great to get started. Oh, that's 100% fantastic. I love that title. That's going to be a great show.
I think we're just going to talk about my life in that one.
That's Tuesday. You guys start at 11 p.m. Eastern.
11 p.m.
On Wednesday is Trivia Night. Kasisi is going to host Trivia Night. These guys always do something fun for Trivia Night. So you guys bring your drinks and your snacks and participate. And then, as Mike mentioned earlier, next week we're going to have Lloyd Smith from Blue Moon Comics. Many people know him as the Groovy Agent from his long-running Diversions of the Groovy Kind blog. But he has been doing for the past decade Blue Moon Comics and his flagship title Diversion. So cool. that is next Sunday. So that's it for us. Anything else? Last chance.
No.
All right. Until next week. Remember to
Make
mine Silverline. Good night, everyone.
Hi, I'm Chris Olm. I'm the former editor-in-chief of Malibu Comics. Make mine Silverline.